Welcome back, guys. I'm Brian J, and I'm super excited to return with you guys. And in this occasion, I will be speaking about my top 16 standouts at the opening ceremony of Miss Universe 2025. Now, I have a lot of notes, a lot of opinions, but I'm excited to share them with you, and I can't wait to hear your opinions as well. Now, make sure that you're following me, and let's get started. First off, I want to talk about the production aspect of how this event was carried. Now, let me tell you, something that I will applaud is the level of production that this event had. It was spectacular, down from the sponsor commercials all the way to the opening, which I cannot get out of my head. The Bangkok rhythm started off the show in an amazing way, and I thought that I really had to highlight that because it was a very well executed show until the very end, where we had someone come out and kind of once again took the spotlight off the focus of what this event was supposed to be. But I'm not going to touch on that a lot because I'm going to focus on the girls. The production, the projection, the walk, the Miss Universe aura, the overall look were the focus of my evaluation with these girls. And I did probably want to preface that we're not going to see a lot of the favorites that people have been mentioning, other mixologists or pageant vloggers or fan pages have mentioned, because I think that my list is very objective and very concise and very critical of things that other people are not mentioning. With that being said, let's jump into my top 16. I'm going to start backwards. So in my 16th spot, I have Costa Rica. Now, Costa Rica almost didn't make it in my list, but I want to say that she looked very good. She was classic. She has a classic beauty, and she performed sufficient enough. And it was a good performance. I applaud her. Good job, Costa Rica. In my 15th spot, Peru. Now, Peru really carried herself well, and that's why she made my list. It was a solid performance, and the gown was absolutely stunning. She really knew how to sell it, and she made my 15th spot. In the 14th spot, I have El Salvador. Now, El Salvador was pure elegance. There's something that Asian countries love to use a lot of time, and it's called soft power. I think that she was able to project that soft power, and she did a solid performance. So kudos to El Salvador. She really did a great job. In my 14th spot, we have Argentina. Now, Argentina, again, was another one that had this soft, feminine elegance, but where I think that she could have had maybe a more of opportunity to fix or to do better was going down those stairs. The stair part was a little bit, and then I do think that there could have been just a little more energy. It was soft and feminine, but it needed just a of energy, and maybe she would have been further in my list, but the overall look was the overall look, let's be honest. In my 12th spot, I have Ecuador. Now, Ecuador was fresh, youthful, beautiful. The gown color was great on her. I think my only note for her would have been the hair. I think that we've seen her hair styled way better in a lot of other occasions. The gown choice was great. I love that she gave or paid homage to one of a classic Miss Universe, even though I have a feeling that if she would have seen this, she would have been like, absolutely not, because now she's a crazed Christian. But yeah, past that, I feel like Ecuador did an amazing job and very fresh and youthful, and it was enjoyable to watch. In my 11th spot, I have Brazil. Now, Brazil's outfit or gown was stunning. I love the combination of the overall look with the black, dark, pale hair, and then the pale skin with this kind of black train in the back. I thought it was just enough. And I really do believe that the beauty that she has was outstanding. I think that for her, in her performance, the takeaway that I got was that she was emoting. She was emoting and she was giving that energy and that aura that I spoke about earlier. It was very captivating. It was captivating and I enjoyed it a lot. It was very much a right performance. Now, top 10, we jump into the 10th place with Dominican Republic. She was pure elegance. This woman, has an amazing body. The gown was a great choice. It was nothing over the top, but it was just right. And her elegance paired up with the strong confidence that she had really catapulted her in my list. I think that I'm going to keep an eye on her. She's been doing really well. In my 9th spot, I expected just a little bit more, but something that is, you just can't argue that this woman has this elegance that is next level. And it's refreshing to see a island country like Turks and Caicos really come to compete. Her styling was great. She's beautiful. The gown was great. I think that she could still give a little bit more, but it was amazing. In my 8th spot, I have a nice surprise, and that is China. China kind of captivated me from the start. There's like this sweet elegance in her, and it's really interesting to see. The charm that she has naturally is really great, and she looked like she was having fun. She convinced me. Applause to China. Can't wait to see more from her as well. Next up in my 7th spot, I have Puerto Rico. Now, I will be honest, when I saw Puerto Rico, I was like, safe. Then I watched it a second time because I did it before, constructing this list. And Puerto Rico really has this natural confidence and this aura that is just secure. She's secure. Something big for me is when women go downstairs, I really want to see if they really dominate their confidence and their pasarela. And she really did. She knew how to go down those stairs and she was very secure. And I think that's ultimately what made me push her in my list. That confidence and that aura was everything. I'm very excited to see more from her as well. My 5th spot is... my 6th spot. Sorry. My 6th spot is Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire was very sensual. I think that her performance was very solid. A lot of people are criticizing that she facially doesn't look as well as she does in pictures, but who does? She's a beautiful black Barbie, and her performance was very solid. It was very sensual. I do think that there was instances where it was a little bit unpolished. It wasn't fully developed. There was an idea, and it wasn't fully developed in a way. But I don't think that it hindered her overall performance, but I do think that it hindered her making my top 5 contestants. In the 5th spot, I have Venezuela. Now, Venezuela, I gotta be honest. Once she stepped out, I was like, But as she kept on opening her mouth and kept on walking, I was convinced that the elegance that she shows, the security that she shows was very Miss Universe. One thing is, and this again, my only note for her was, I think that the facial expressions were just a bit too over the top. And that's kind of what probably I picked up on when I saw the initial performance. The second time I saw it around, then I was like, oh, okay. Slowly she started like convincing me, and she made me feel more comfortable with her performance. And that's why I have her in my 5th spot. My 4th spot is Portugal. Now, Portugal was probably the surprise of the night. There's something I want to call now soft sex. That's kind of what she was projecting. But it was paired with this like elegant flow and vibe that she had. And in my opinion, that's why I pushed her so far. And she's in my top 5 because the gown was right. The styling was right. The energy was right. I would maybe tone down the sensual sexualness coming from her, but I think that ultimately that's what made her stand out apart from her obviously great styling. In my 3rd spot, I have Chile. Now, Chile was effortless. We can't argue with that. She was effortless. She did a solid performance. It was so good that it made her be in the top 3, but it wasn't as powerful enough. There wasn't something ultimately extremely special to make her the number 1 spot. But Chile was outstanding. It was solid. It really kept the momentum going. And she was unapologetically effortless. And that's why she's so far in my list. My second spot goes to Latina. Jamie was pretty much showing why she's the representation of all the Latinas. The regalness that she had was captivating. She was one of the few ones that I would categorize as unique. She did something different. The hair was different while still being in accordance and making her look really good. And then the styling was just great. And then the turn that she did was a little something special, and she did it clean and good. She looked expensive. It was her night. Very good job for Yamilex Hernandez. Now my number 1 spot, and this might be a little shock, but Guadalupe. Guadalupe was absolutely stunning. It was perfection. It was regal. The aura was there, and you could tell that she was feeling it. She was feeling the character of being a Miss Universe, and you could tell in her eyes. And let me tell you, her gown wasn't the most captivating and jaw-dropping gown, but she knew how to sell it. The face knew how to sell it. But yeah, she's my number 1. I'm very excited to see more from her as well. I think that she has a really good momentum and strategy, and I think we're gonna keep on falling in love with her even more. Now, before I finish, I want to kind of give a little bit of shout outs to some of my favorite gowns. Bulgaria. Bulgaria's gown was absolutely stunning. I think that if it would have been on another heavy favorite, everyone would be going ballistic over it. I wish she would have saved it for the finals, because it was absolutely gorgeous. The styling was great. She looked beautiful. Another gown that I really loved was Canada, and Canada did not make my list, even though she was so stunning. That gown was great, but unfortunately it overpowered her. You could tell that she wasn't sure enough and that she couldn't handle the gown, maybe because of the cape, and unfortunately it hindered her performance. Portugal, I thought it was very different and I really liked it. It was simple. It was kind of classic Miss Universe-ish, but with a little twist, and it was stunning. Then I have Thailand. Thailand's gown, she did not make my list. I think that I expected much more from her. She was stunning. She was beautiful. The gown was interesting, but the power was maybe not there compared to the rest. I hope that she can get out of that little fumble. And my last one is USA. USA's gown was kind of Thai inspired, I think. It was a great color on her and it looked really stunning. So kudos to USA. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you for being here. I want to know your opinion. I know that I didn't have a lot of favorites on here. Example, Mexico didn't make my list. I think that even though she's made me fall in love with her, I think that Mexico could have had a little bit more energy. It was not precise. So, and that goes with a lot of girls. I think that overall, a lot of the heavy favorites just needed a little bit more and that's why they're not really in the top right now, at least in my opinion. So I'm excited to see more from them. I'm excited to see how they evolve. And yeah, this is just the beginning. So let's share opinions in the comments. I appreciate you guys for being here. I love you. And yeah, stay strong for these girls. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.